For your next project, you will have an option. So you could choose between two projects, and you're going to watch these videos so then you know exactly what to do with the projects. Choose between two projects. So the first one is called Variety and Repetition, and then the next one is called a Camouflage Gradient Design, Drawing, or Painting. So you have a choice here. Now, what does each one look like? So the Camouflage Design one, this is not finished, but if you can kind of take a look, what do you see? If you said a bowling ball and a bowling pin, you are correct. And here, it's starting to be camouflage. This is the painting version. Here's a drawing version of what this can look like. So it's a kind of a shape and design. So this is a shaded one. It's kind of interesting. And then the variety and repetition looks like this. Variety and repetition. Choice. What would you like to do? Variety and repetition or the gradients, camouflage, drawing slash painting? And if you can't decide, you could watch both videos and then go from there. Or you could try both of them out. Maybe you're loving art and you want to do as much as you can. Go for it. Down below to see if you want to go to variety and repetition or the camouflage gradient drawing slash painting. All right, if you are choosing variety and repetition, okay, here is a paper example of what it can look like. And then on the back of this example are the step-by-step directions. So directions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Grab this piece of paper and start to look at it. While you do that, press pause, and then I'm going to show you kind of these step-by-steps. But first read this, and then watch more of the video to see how to do these things. How you begin this project is up to you. So you can approach this in a way that you do a sloppy copy, or you can jump right to the good paper. Okay, so your good paper is on 9x12 paper, and you could find that in the art room. The first step is you're drawing a grid, and you're adding 12 squares that are 3 inches in height and 3 inches in width to the paper. And I'll show you how to do that now. Why is it recording? Did it not record? Let's see how this works. Line up your ruler. Make sure that your 0 is there. And every 3 inches you are marking. So 3, 6, 9. Whatever I do to the top, I'm doing to the bottom. So line up my 0, and I'm at 3, 6, 9. So I'm going to have dashes here. So you're going to see the dashes. Okay, see them dashes right there? All right. And then I'm going to connect them. So take my ruler, make sure I'm on the dashes, and connect them. That's going to give me a straight, even line. Beautiful. All right, so this is me starting my grid. Got it, got it, got it. This is pretty easy so far. All right, now I'm going to do the same thing to the sides of my paper. So right here, you can see 0, 3, 6. So I got the 3 and the 6. So it looks like a piece. Same thing I'm going to do to the bottom. Okay, 3, 6. Take my ruler, line up my dashes like so. You could see me lining up my dashes. I'll show you this way. Here we go. Nope, that's me. That's what you want. Line up those top and bottom. Pew. You are going to be choosing an object. It could be anything that you would like as far as an object is concerned. And you're pretty much drawing like 2 to 3 of them. You want one of them to be a little larger and one of them to be smaller. So for sure 2, 1 large, 1 small. On this, you could see the eyes, 1 large, 1 small. You want to do this on tracing paper. So where can you find tracing paper in the room? If you're in Mrs. McKimson's room, there'll be something labeled tracing paper that you can grab from this, or it'll be on the extra shelf. And Mrs. Young's room, she'll let you know where to find the tracing paper. Pencil. Sorry, mine has a little clay on it. Whoops, but here's an ebony pencil. It's the darkest dark a pencil can get. I have my objects, and I want to draw over my objects just with my ebony pencil. This lead will for sure pick up on the surface when you go to transfer it. So trace over everything with the ebony pencil. My tracing paper with my objects on there. Large, small, medium if you want to. I have my grid, it's drawn. Now the next step is really easy. On the tracing paper, the side that has the lead where you drew, because you're drawing it with pencil, the side that has the lead, you will then place on your grid to figure out where you want to put it. I would encourage you to have part of your object in each square. So when I go to trace this, I can look to see where I want this to be and say I like that right there. So I'm going to use this right here and I'm going to start to trace it. Let me show you. So it'll be kind of light. So you can go back in and redraw on it. I'm going to use the little one now. Maybe put it in the middle. Maybe I can crop it off to the side. That can look really interesting. Make sure it's being transferred. It is. Okay, so I have it right there, but it's light. Redraw it in. Make sure there's one in each box. So I have something in each box, that's good. Some cropping, some overlapping. I probably could add something maybe right here. I can always add that in later. Okay, from here, each square should have an object inside it, even if it's small section. Remember, you should establish a different theme for each square with the object in it and color it in maybe square by square. So where does the variety come in? This comes in with the different mediums you use per square. So this square is using Sharpie. This one has, I believe, some highlighter and marker, pencil shading. This one's using color pastel, or no, this would be glitter. And then this is actually color pencil, just pressed. This is chalk pastel. This is marker and I think crayon. We repeated pencil, that's totally okay. Cut up paper. And then this one has actually some glue dots in it. So there's a variety going on here. As a repeating number 4. And what they decided to do was actually take different patterns for their variety. It's not complete, but there's different patterns in each one, so that kind of looks cool. So that's where the variety is coming in. Again, not complete, but you can kind of see the gist of it. Packet that's going to help you get started. Okay, on this packet, There's going to be some extra words here. It says like final drawing or worksheet 5, or your painting will look like this. Ignore that. What we're going to do is step by step. I'm going to show you in here. But if you like the way this looks, if this looks interesting to you, all right, kick back. I'll show you the steps and what you need to do in order to get there, and you could choose this as your next project. Step. You are going to draw 3 to 4 images, different images. So something kind of similar that you think you might want to use for your project. And you draw them on this particular page. Once that's done, then we'll pick your favorite one and we'll put it on a separate sheet of paper or in your sketchbook. You'll draw it out a little larger, and then you'll add what's called a fragmented grid. So a fragmented grid, I'm going to show you how to do that now. And so behind this, once you choose what you want, you draw it here and add your grid on there. So you would take this and add it right on that little bad boy. I can measure this out the same way I learned how to do the variety and repetition, so by 3s and 6s. Whenever I do the top, I do the bottom, so 3 and 6. And then I match my lines up for that straight. Oh, I just messed up. This is a straight line. I don't want a straight line. So actually, I can kind of keep that in there, but I'm still going to go to my 3, my 6, or 3 inches. You can go by 2s here, by 4s. It actually doesn't really matter. And then from here, I'm going to add crisscrosses. So I'm literally not trying to make straight lines. I'm adding lines that go every which way. I'm going to connect these two up here. I can double connect things as well, so I can use the same spot to connect to another side. So I can use this spot to connect to a couple different sides. So at the end, you're going to want something that looks fragmented, not straight. Let me add a few more so I can use up all my dashes. So this straight line actually doesn't look bad. I can keep that in there if I want to. It looks kind of cool. And I could triple use a dash if I want, but I want to use all the dashes that I decided to use. This would be my grid. And my drawing should already be there, but I'm just showing you the fragmented grid part. On my worksheet, my goal: try to blend smooth transitions, show a range of values, lights, mediums, darks. So it looks like this is going to light, medium, and dark. This can go light, medium to dark. Let me show you how. So what I want to start doing is filling this in as light as possible. I could use my pencil for this. I could use a mechanical pencil if you would prefer. I could use the ebony pencil. It's up to you. So I want to shade this in pretty lightly. And then here I want to go a little darker. Here, a little darker. Use a little bit more pressure. This doesn't have to be anything beautiful or neat. I'm going a little darker here. So you're going to see me making that transition. And here I'm going to press pretty heavy. You will show your art teacher this, me or Mrs. Young, so we could check it. But it should go from light to there. And then you're going to practice making a smooth transition. This might take a couple rounds. You want to try to match what you see up here. Those are called values, lightness and darkness. So I'm going to keep shading light, and then when I get to the middle, I'll go a little darker. And press pause if you need to press pause and go back or practice it. I'm going to make this look pretty easy. Some of you will get this right away. Some of you might have to practice a couple times. You should know the lights, mediums, and darks because you're going to have to use them in your drawing or painting. And go a little heavier here. This takes some concentration. This takes control. You have to use pressure, so you have to know what pressure you're using. But it should go from light, medium to dark, just like that. to decide to paint yours, what you're going to do in every single transition, any single area, you go from either dark to light, then on the opposite of that, it's light to dark. So you pick which angle and which way you create the darks and you create the lights, completely up to you. So let's look closely at this. You could see in this shape, it's kind of all dark because that's like an enclosed shape. And then around it's a little lighter. So that's where your lights and your darks come into play. If one side is dark, then the other side is light. So you go the opposite way. That's why you practice shading. Well, let's look at this one again. You could see where it's light and where it's dark, and it's opposite. Some artists decide to plan it out. So if you decide to plan it out and really pay attention to where the lights and the darks are, you can easily do that by writing in L, M, or D for lights, mediums, and darks. It's just the opposite. What you will do is first practice shading in your drawing with the lights, mediums, and darks. So if you get it on here and you're approved, then you either move on to a bigger drawing or a painting. When you paint, you are welcome to use the tempera paint or the watercolor paint, so it's up to you.